Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Fall Guys related video. If you remember a while ago, I did a rankings video on all of the maps from Season 1 to Season 4. It was garbage. Alright, so we're going to be doing Season 5 to Season 8, or Season 2, as it's called now. As I remember at the end of the video, I'd said I would do this once that time comes round. And since it's basically a year since I made that video, that I thought, what better time to do it than now? Also because I just kind of remembered. So, let's start things off. We've only got 30 maps to be ranking, and it's everything from Season 5, Season 6, Season 1 Free-For-All, and Season 2 Satellite Scramble. So, let's kickstart things with number 30, which is the worst round out of these, and I've styled this a bit differently. I'm separating each round into different tiers depending on how I feel about them. I would love to remake the other list, by the way, because that is my opinion is very much different from now, but we'll get to that another time, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, here we go. Starting off with number 30, which is Hexaring. Overall ranking, the worst round out of the new rounds. It is honestly atrocious to play, to be honest. Ever since they made that patch where they slowed it down, it's not been a fun round. I don't think it's necessarily the worst round of the whole game. No, I don't believe that in the slightest, but I do believe that it is a very terrible round, and it's a round that I dislike so heavily that I just wouldn't care if it got removed, to be honest. Basically, the idea of the final is it combines two previously made finals that are actually decent. It combines Roll Off and Hexagon, but admittedly some of the best survival rounds, but I don't really like the way they went about it, because it just feels very, very boring, and then it just gets to a point where the level just becomes impossible, and it just becomes a matter of, oh, whoever can stay on top the longest survives. Of course, it is going to be a very popular round because it is another easy and repetitive final, which is what this community really, really obsesses with, and I don't know why. But whatever, on to the next round. At number 29, we have Penguin Pool Party. Penguin Pool Party is my least favorite hunt round in the game. It is also my least favorite Season 5 round. Season 5 honestly didn't have that great of a map quality, to be honest, to me. I really despise Penguin Pool Party. I think a lot of people also can agree with me with that. But the main reason why a lot of people dislike it is because it's just a giant grabby mess. I like the idea of Penguin levels. The Penguin Pursuit is a very fun level. The team version of it. One of my top ones now. It's very fun. But this one just sucks in comparison because admittedly the map looks better, but the way the round works is just the way they did the hunt round was terrible. The way I think they should have done it is they should have had just as many penguins as players that are qualifying, and when you qualify, you take those penguins away. But because you just drop them on the floor, it means that the round just becomes incredibly obnoxious for the people trying to fight for their penguins. It doesn't feel right for a round. It just feels like an RNG heavy mess. It's not fun. I don't enjoy this map. Um, maybe if they changed this, it would be a lot better. I do like the map design. That is probably the only things that is a saving grace. I love the theme of a pool party style level, but this ain't it. Next up, at number 28, we have Airtime, my least favorite Season 6 round. Now, you might be confused as to why this is my least favorite Season 6 round. This is the most popular of the hunt rounds. I gave it an overall ranking of the next one up, which is we're going into the I don't care category. For rounds I just straight up don't care about. They're not that bad that I want to say that I wouldn't care if they were completely removed. But if they like I mean I wouldn't care, but you know, whatever. It's not to the point where I'd actually actively want them deleted from the game. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, but yeah, I still don't care. Airtime, it's admittedly the only thing I have with this round is it's just a survival level in disguise, and I'm not a big fan of survival levels. If you know me, you know I really do not like them. Basically, they're just some of the most repetitive levels because you're just sat in one area trying to survive until like everyone else dies or something happens. I'd rather actually spend my time doing something of value. Airtime admittedly has, I would say it has one up over other survival rounds, but it's just the way it's done, I just don't like it. It just feels very cheesable and very, oh, if you weren't in quick enough and you didn't stay in the entire round, you get eliminated, haha. No, it's not for me. I don't like airtime. I used to, but I don't anymore. Next up, we have my least favorite race level. And this is straight up my least favorite race level in the entire game. It's Treetop Tumble. Um, yeah, this is... Honestly, if I were to compare this to something, as I'm sure you'll see in one of my later videos, I would compare this to Mario Maker 2 level, like little Timmy levels. Like it's ridiculously spammy with obstacles. Like I couldn't care any less about this level. The level design just feels really poor. It's supposed to be a level with multiple pathways, but it feels like the easiest path to take is the fastest path to take. And the harder, more difficult, the more skill-based path to take is just pointless. It just doesn't boost you ahead. And I think that's a stupid mechanic in a game like this. With in a racing game, you want the harder path to be the more rewarding one. You don't want it to be the punishing path. Otherwise, no one's gonna take it. You know? You want to give players that choice whether they want to risk it or not. In this round, it's either risk it or risk it. You know, it's like it's not a fun level in my opinion. It's definitely one. It's definitely probably the weakest of the race rounds, if I'm honest. Not the worst jungle round, but then again, it's only got Penguin Pool Party that it's beating, so... On to the next one, which is the other race from Season 5. I'm not a big fan of Season 5 at all, as you can tell. I don't really like jungle levels, particularly in video games. And Lily Leapers is another one of those levels which I just do not like. A lot of people are gonna not be very happy with this decision, but it's not your list, and also I just don't like it, because the reason why is because it feels like another, like, clumped up, like, mess of a level for Season 5. Especially if you're in like the game has skill-based matchmaking now, and if you're in one of the top ranked lobbies, it's an absolute nightmare because you just got everyone trying to do the speedrun routes, and it's just ugh, I hate it. I hate this. I hate how this level has just become a sweat fest. Literally, 9 times out of 10 in the past, you were only able to clear this level if you were a sweat. The level is literally the definition of like fucking Fortnite or whatever. Like you just play it just to try and be the best and to just fuck up because of the other thing I hate about this level, which is the hitboxes on the lead pads are so broken sometimes. I can't tell you how many times I've just like hit a lily pad and rolled off of it. It's ridiculous, to be honest. I just hate it. I hate the leapers. I hate the lily pads. I hate these stupid drums. Don't care. Anyway, on to the next one, which is Treat Thieves. Ah, Treat Thieves. Basically, the successor of a later map that we'll see on this list. I really couldn't care any less. Treat Thieves literally is the Egg Siege variation of Sweet Thieves, because it's literally just a different change. Only this time it's not even like a level that they've it's not even like they've reshaped the level. It's like they've just kind of taken the level, copied and pasted it, and just threw in a bunch of new obstacles and been like, "Ooh, there we go." I mean, I guess that's what they did with Egg Siege, but like, bro, it's just Halloweenified Sweet Thief. I don't. The worst part about this map is just the fact that, like, actually, there's so many bad things about this map. The main things I have with this map is the event that was tagged along with this wasn't the best in terms of in terms of its reward system and its challenges, because its challenges literally actively forced you to go out of your way and play the game in the wrong way, which leads to you basically screwing your teammates over. Like, there was one challenge which involves grabbing 5 thieves in one round, which the easiest way to do that is by letting the thieves back out so you can grab them again. Which ruins your run, because you're also screwing over your teammates as well by doing that. You're sabotaging your own team. I just don't like this map. The music isn't even... The music is actually genuinely the only song in the OST that I genuinely dislike. Like, I literally, whenever I play this round, it distracts me so much that I just have to turn the music off in order to actually play this map. It's not fun. I don't enjoy this as much as the original, which I'll talk about later on. But hey ho, on to number 24, which is Hexaterrestrial. Now, this is the better of the two modern Hexagon rounds, I guess. I don't think any of them top the original, though. I still don't think you can top the original Hexagon in terms of Hexagon-related finals. These extra Hexagon finals have just none of them have been able to stand up to the original. I don't care. Hexaterrestrial, I mean, it's another Hexagon level. We've seen so many of these before. The only difference here, the spin on this one, is that the Hexagon tiles respawn, and it's only one layer, and the walls close in. So I guess it's a lot more intense. But like, I don't know. I feel like because the hexagons respawn, it almost makes the round feel a lot slower in a way. I liked a variation of it that got removed. I could say that with a lot of rounds, to be honest. A lot of rounds have had really good variations in the past that have been removed. But honestly, Hexaterrestrial isn't the worst final. I've gotten tons of wins on it, but like, I still don't care. I don't really care about this round, and I never did. When I see this final pop up, I just think, oh, okay, another final. Yeah, on to the next one. Cosmic Highway. I mean, again, it's just another one of those rounds. Yeah, if you're wondering why I just put ninth here, instead of specifying what it was out of, I don't want to offend any Americans. That's all I'm saying. Um, yeah. Uh, Cosmic Highway is just uh, yeah, it's another race level, to be honest. It's admittedly a cool concept though. You've basically got these space lanes that move across from left to right and right to left, and it's it's unique, but the ultimately there's not really much going on in the level. It's just kind of there. You just gotta jump across platforms and dodge obstacles. It's not even in the game currently because of apparently issues found, or something. I can't remember. But yeah, you have to just try and make it to the end of the level, but it's like you gotta jump across the platforms. One thing I'd really think that would make this a lot more fun is seeing this in extreme mode. But they have not brought this to extreme mode, which is annoying me because it would be an amazing round for extreme mode. Either way, it's we're into the fine category now. It's these are the rounds that are just okay, and this one's just okay. On to the next one, which is another season 8 one, or season 2, another space round, which is Frantic Factory. The only hunt round of this season. We got the funny position. Yeah. It is a level where it's basically essentially just a free-for-all button bashers. Um, Now honestly, I think I prefer button bashers to this. I don't mind that it's free-for-all, but the problem I have with it is just, it doesn't really feel that interesting. Like, you just gotta press 5 buttons that light up, and then you qualify. I like it, but I prefer like when the way Button Bashers does it, where you press a button and it changes the obstacles around it. Admittedly, there'll be a lot of griefing opportunity and a lot more fun to be had. It's still an okay round. I just see it as another round, really. Again, it's not good. It's not bad. Yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. Next up, Sweet Thieves. So here we go. Sweet Thieves. The best of the Invisibeans rounds. The better one. I prefer this because it's the original one, because ultimately Treat Thieves made some changes that I don't think were really necessary. Uh, I mean, Treat Thieves is still decently fun, don't get me wrong, like with some of the variations. I think if they just added variations to this, then I would have preferred that way of doing it rather than Treat Thieves where they just threw a bunch of variations, like they just threw a bunch of variations into its own separate map and made the map very, very, very just not nice. I prefer I prefer the original Sweet Thieves, and it is going to just stay at that. I love just running around taunting the thieves, or the guards as a thief, and as a guard, it's interesting because you can pull off some interesting strategies to guard the sweets, whilst um, the other mode, Treat Thieves, there's a lot more. I think it's a lot less fair towards the guards. It's a lot more. It's a lot easier for the thieves to roam around and just win. Either way, this is the better of the two. Point proven. Let's just get to the next one. It's okay. Now we move on to Some Fruit, the only logic round in this list. Some Fruit is definitely better than Perfect Match as a logic round, I can tell you that. The thing I'm most annoyed about is that this is currently not in the game. Because Some Fruit is a great round. And ultimately, yeah, it's a very interesting concept. Because the fruit gets covered by the slime hides it, and then you have to guess the fruit. And I love the little twists it does at the end where it says 0. But it's another perfect match, so it's just a little bit crowd heavy. So everyone's just gonna be hoarding around one specific tile that's correct, and then they all make it. Alternatively, you could have everyone guessing it wrong and everyone herding around someone and then just messing it up, which is I think the hilarious outcome. But yeah, Some Fruit is just okay. If there was a hard mode like there is in Perfect Match, if they added variations, I would love this round a lot more. Anyway, on to the next one. Keeping the theme, we're going to Stomping Ground. And ultimately, Stomping Ground, it's okay. It's fun. You just put it in an arena with rhinos. I mean, it's one of the better Season 5 maps. Which is saying something, because it's not even in, like, the top 50%, and it's the third best. I wonder which season had the worst quality of maps, don't you? Yeah, the rhinos, I mean, at the end of the day, this round is just don't get hit by the rhinos, and the rhinos just charge at whoever they feel like. It's just another round at the end of the day. It's just you see it and you realize, this is where all the fun ends. You're just gonna get chucked off pretty easily. This round does wipe out a lot of people, but it also is very, very likely to wipe you out because sometimes the game can be very unfair and unforgiving on this round. Yeah, that's all I got to say on that one. Let's continue forwards to Bubble Trouble. The second best Season 5 map, and again, not in the top 50%. This round actually has not been in the game for like 2 whole seasons now, which I'm getting very concerned because I don't mind Bubble Trouble. Bubble Trouble's alright. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like the hunt rounds where you have to jump into things and score points. I quite like Bubble Trouble. The concept of this being that 2 zones are active at once. A lot of people don't pay attention to this. I think it would be better if it was stated in the instructions, but I also think it would be better to state that, or at the very start of the game at least, to have stated that there were golden bubbles that existed, because at the time of its launch, I never knew that there were any golden bubbles until the trial show. So basically, I learnt it the hard way. Yeah, it's alright. I mean, could be better, could be worse. Bubble Trouble is an okay round. Next up, Full Tilt. Full Tilt is an interesting one because originally it was going to be very, very low on this list, as in like towards the bottom, because it just got so boring, and it really says something that literally a week after its launch it got taken out of the game because of an exploit. Yep, that's Full Tilt for you. Yeah, I like the new variations they added this season, even if it is out of the game currently, like a lot of the round 1 races. It's still an okay round, and I'd gladly play it with the variations that are added, and I'd gladly play it in extreme mode as well. It's alright. Else, but yeah. Leading Light. Leading Light is another okay round. It's a late game round, yes. You have to try and stay in the spotlight, but the weird thing about this is the round that started the trends of having late hunt levels just not eliminate very many people at all. In fact, more people, a higher percentage of players get eliminated from a round 1 game than they do on Leading Light. And that's saying something. But yeah, Leading Light, despite not having not ever having any more than 7 players getting eliminated each round, I think it's an okay round. It's fun. It's fun to try and stay in the spotlight for as long as possible. The thing I have with this, though, the last time it appeared, there was some very, very bad performance issues. So I'm not really surprised that they had to take it out of the game. They've had a lot of issues with this roundup lately, to be honest. But yeah, Leading Light is an okay round. So that's all I've got to say about it. It's okay. Now on to Space Race. I loved Space Race. I think Space Race was a decent round. I think Space. I mean, I think it was pretty fun. It showed off all the new obstacles. It's got like the thrusters, the hexagon tiles, the platforms. It shows them off really well in another Skyline Stumbles like level. I also love one of the really fun shortcuts you can do where you jump on top of the pipes and walk your way around and grab onto the ledge. But again, it's out of the game currently because of bugs. And I really miss having this round because it made for a great round 1 race. But now we're just getting the same stuff over and over again. It would be fun to see a nice change of pace like Space Race. Also, it is typical for a party game to have for a party style game to have a round named Space Race. There always is a round like that, so yeah, there's always a round with that name. Let's head on over to the next one, which is Speed Circuit. Now, Free For All. Honestly, I think Free For All had probably the best quality of maps in compared to Season 5. It was the opposite end of the spectrum here. Speed Circuit is one of the weaker rounds, but I still think it's alright. It has been removed from the game. It has been vaulted, actually, currently. I am a bit sad because it originally, I think, was going to be 3 laps long in length, but they changed it to 2 laps, and the level feels a lot more clumped up and claustrophobic. I prefer it if they kept it as the 3 lap system. But yeah, it's very fun to use those speed archers and just run around in levels. especially this one, just running around the track. It just, you wouldn't have this theme without this round. It fits perfectly for the stadium theme, and yeah. I kind of want to see a bit more of it in the future, but like, yeah, I don't really think that's gonna happen. Sadly, sorry, Speed Circuit, you're gone. Next up we have Bean Hill Zone, the Sonic level, the Sonic Lab. Of course, the pun with the name, Bean Hill Zone, Green Hill Zone. Yeah, a lot of people really dislike this one because of the only time it's really been showcased. Because basically you had to collect 20 rings, then you had to collect 35, and then you had to collect a big old 50 in the final round. And the first person to get all 50 wins. But yeah, it's a fun level to try and to try and just have a bit of fun. Go around hunting around for rings. I love hunt levels like this. A lot of exploration to them. A little bit, kind of. Not really. Just kind of strategy and planning out where you're gonna go. It's really fun to try and find and jump into the, well, not jump into the rings, but as in jump through the rings, but like jump into the rings, you know, collect them. It's a fun round. Definitely definitely up there. Definitely decent. Next up we move to Track Attack. Another stadium round. We go straight back to season 1 again. Season 1 free for all, where with another race round that's round 1 that's been removed from the game. Um, yeah, this is a very fun one because it's definitely one of the stronger round 1 games because you just got a giant obstacle courses. You're racing through the paths. It's it all goes so fast. It ends in just a flash. It's incredible, to be honest, for a round 1 game to be so exhilarating and fun like this. Yeah, it's I enjoy the short but sweet round 1 games. I enjoy Gate Crash. I enjoy this. I think it's very fun, and yeah, I'd love to see more levels like this. Next, we move on to the Swiveler. The Swiveler is probably one of my favorite survival levels. One of the best survival levels. This is where we get to the fun categories, the levels that I definitely enjoy. I got this earlier. This is definitely one of the rarer rounds in the game at the moment. Um, yeah, the whole level is basically you stand on this giant ring, and you got to run around, and you got to try not to get knocked off. There's a fan chasing you from behind. It's admittedly at the start of the season, this level ended in like 5 seconds, and I didn't mind that. You know, I quite like. I just in general quite like the Swiveler. I thought it was pretty fun to try and see how long you can survive, and especially as the round gets faster and faster, or as you're moving faster and faster and running around, running away from the fan. It's very fun, and I really enjoy these stadium levels where you have to run, where you get to run really fast. It's honestly like a Sonic game, but like controllable. Yeah. Anyway, on to the next one, which is Party Promenade. Another great round 1 game. Um, yeah, this one's I love I love the party themed obstacles, like the pipes, the 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 frog things, the water balloons, despite how annoying they can be. I love grabbing onto the trapezes and swinging around on them, trying to jump into the finish. At the end, it is a very fun round, and honestly, I love these sorts of round one games that are like this. Party Promenade up there. Not as good as Skyline Stumble. Skyline Stumble will definitely forever be the top race round, but yeah. Next up, Blast Ball. Blast Ball. Blast Ball. Not my favorite final in the world, but I still admire it for being an actually fun survival final. I'm not a big fan of final rounds being focused on last man standing because they usually take like way too long. But this one is actually a lot more fun. It still takes a really long time, but it's at least a lot more fun than some other ones. At least you're having fun. You're throwing blast balls at other players, trying to blow them off the platforms into the holes. Admittedly, it is also suffering the fate of most other ones where it takes really long to start up because all the tiles slowly disappear. But it it's a survival final. It's going to suffer that fate. Um, yeah. Overall, I enjoy throwing the blast balls and trying to knock people off. I also love when you get to when you get to the final two and you're just hugging it out intensely, trying to push each other off. It's a great final. It's one of the best, in my opinion. On to the next one, which is Bounce Party. I love Bounce Party. Bounce Party is definitely one of the best hoops rounds. Well, is definitely one of the better rounds where you jump through rings to score points. This one is basically a combination of. I'd say it's more of a combination of Skiffle and Block Party than it is like Hoopty Legends. But yeah, basically you've just got to bounce off these bounce pads or the fans and try and jump through the hoops. Um, and yeah, once you score 15 points, you qualify. What I like about this is that the golden ones are actually only worth 2, and the blue ones are only worth 1. So it's a lot more balanced than the other hoop games, and this one the hoops come towards you and anyone can jump through them. It's a lot more skill based. And despite a lot of people complaining about the body blocking issues that's present in literally every round, they complain about this round for having body block issues, and they love Lily Leapers, who definitely has a lot more body blocking issues than this. But still, like, I genuinely prefer this round to a lot of rounds. Like, yeah, I do. Who would have thought? Yeah. Um, but yeah, I enjoy this, and it definitely puts a smile on my face when it pops up on the very rare occasion. And it doesn't really anymore because it's been boosted out of the game. It's been vaulted. I hate the vaulting process already because they're already vaulting some of my favorites. Next up, we have Pipe Dream. Pipe Dream is the best of the season 6 rounds, which there weren't really that many to begin with. Season 6 didn't have that many rounds, nor were they particularly great. They were just okay mostly. Pipe Dream is one of the better ones. I love the concept of going into pipes and not knowing where you're going to end up, not knowing which side you're going to get spat out on. And yeah, it's a fun level. It's a unique concept. Apparently, it was originally supposed to be a final, which I wouldn't have minded actually. Would have made season 6 a bit more interesting. Actually gotten another final. Um, yeah. Oh, God. Sorry about that. But yeah, you got to. I like the ending as well, where you have to grab onto the grab onto the trapeze and jump into the finish. They also had a bunch of cool new variations from this season that are very fun to play. And yeah, that's Pipe Dream for you. Next up, we're getting to the top 6 now, and we have Pixel Painters. Now, a lot of you are going to be really annoyed at me for putting this one up here. I actually consider Pixel Painters quite fun. I think it is a very unique concept. I think the execution of it may not have been the best, but it is admittedly a creative race round, and I like that it's... I mean, I don't really particularly like that it's squads only. I do think it would be fun to see this round get put into solos as like a final round. But yeah, it would be as a as a as a race round in squads. I think it does a pretty good job. It's kind of like it's kind of like Skiffle, and it's kind of score based in a way. You just got to progress through different stages. I would consider this as more of a logic round. I think this should have been classed as a logic round, but sadly they've gone with the race and made it generic. And messed with my brain. But whatever. I didn't have one of those to begin with. Yeah. Let's not dwell on this. Let's progress forward to the top 5. The final 5. These are some of the best rounds in the game. Not the top of the ranks, though. The top ones are the top 3, I think. Anyway, next up, number 5, Star Chart. Star Chart is my favorite race round out of this group. It is definitely sad to see that it is out of the game currently. It is essentially like an older brother to, or a younger brother to Tiptoe, in a way. Because Tiptoe's kind of got a similar structure to this, in that you've just got to make your way to the end and everyone's fighting and trying to find the path. But the way Star Chart works is a lot more different, and it's a lot more logic based. Because you have to press the buttons, and it will display on the map screen where some invisible pathways are, and you got to find the pathways to the end. It's a good concept, and I like it. It's fun. It's unique. It's fun to figure out the paths. A lot of people aren't a big fan of it. I don't particularly see why. It is very fun, very challenging. I always loved to see this when it popped up. Anyway, number 4, we have Lost Temple. My favourite of the Season 5 rounds. Would you believe it? A lot of people don't like Lost Temple. And a lot of people complained about it being really spammy in Season 5. I don't really think it was very spammy, to be honest. I played it a decent amount. It didn't feel like it was every single game, though. Or at least in the side modes. In the side modes, it felt occasional. It felt like you'd get mostly other rounds, but I do enjoy a bit of Lost Temple. It is a very fun concept. It reminds me of Takeshi's Castle, like a lot of the mini games in this game do, as they are inspired by it. It reminds me of that honeycomb maze. But like, yeah, you just have to try and navigate the 5x5 maze, which just gets randomly generated every time, I think. Which I really like. I really like Lost Temple is around. It is definitely well deserved as number 4. The 4th best round in this selection. it would be in the top few, the top tier bracket, but the problem I have with it is firstly they removed a very funny variation that was actually quite fun. And second of all, is these little buggers right here are still a thing, and they are mandatory for going to the crown. I don't like the lily pads, as I've said before, and this level is no different. It still doesn't change the fact that I don't like them, and they just suck. Yeah. But that's Lost Temple, it's a pretty decent round. Anyway, on to the top tier. The gimme rounds. These are the rounds which I would absolutely love to play any day of the week. And we're starting off with another final, another crown grab final, tiptoe finale. I love race finals. These are the only scenarios where I like where I'm like really fond of races. I'm usually not the best at races, but like I feel like I'm not really the best at the finals either, but I still enjoy them a lot because it's satisfying to me making it to the end of these levels and grabbing the crown at the end. It's just something about it that's so satisfying. Tiptoe finale is no different. You're working together as a team to find your way through the path. I, of course, prefer this in its squad setting, where you have a massive grid to try and figure your way through. It's ultimately just a game of trial and error, but I love the fact that they've taken a spin on Tiptoe and made it team-based. So you have to work together with your teammates to try and figure out the path, instead of everyone just blindly jumping and everyone hoarding around the person who's finding the path for everyone. It creates a unique challenge and makes for a very fun final round, a very chaotic, climactic final. And especially once you get to the middle and you're trying to climb the platforms, but you get too hasty and that you'll get bumped off. I quite like that that concept of it being don't get too hasty. It is a very fun final and one of my favorite finals in the game. It's up there with Royal Fumble. Again, sadly, it's only squad based, but I mean, I don't think they could do it in solos, so unless they made it like 4 players, in which case, yeah. Anyway, continuing up the gimme rank, we have Hyperdrive Heroes, my favorite survival level in the entire game, really. The only survival level which I'd actually consider this as a gimme round. Basically, it's a better version of Hoverboard Heroes that was added in Season 4 and is also currently out of the game as well. So many rounds are out of the game. Like, they should probably put those back. But yeah, Hyperdrive Heroes, definitely one of my favorites. There's so many places to fall off, so much challenge involved in this, and also so many funny moments to be had. This is kind of what I liked, this is kind of what I like about Slime Climb defined in a hoverboard level. The only issue I have with it is just generally I don't know. It just feels a bit off to me. It's another hoverboard level, so I don't know what. I think it's just the fact that it's a survival level, and it, again, like most survival levels, takes a while to build up. And there's not really that many places to grief. It doesn't really get that much harder towards the middle section of it either. It just like it doesn't feel like it has a set difficulty to it, so yeah, it just has difficulty spikes all over the place. So for me, second place, but the best round, which still doesn't compare to Slime Climb. Slime Climb's still my favorite round in the game, but the winner in this section, and probably my second favorite round in the entire game. If you've noticed what hasn't appeared, you'd know that the number one spot is going to Volleyfall. I freaking love Volleyfall. It is my favorite, one of my favorite rounds in the game for a damn good reason. I love it. It's simply, I love the thought of a button bashers round, right? But I didn't think button bashers was too skill based. I thought for this type of 1v1 round, it should be a lot more skill based, right? For you to have really fun 1v1 rounds. Volleyfall came out of nowhere and just surprised us with the skill-based aspect. This is literally just kind of like, I never thought I'd enjoy playing volleyball so much in my life. You've just got to jump into the ball and try and knock it onto your opponent's side. It's simple, but it's so good. There's so much strategy to it, so much fun to be had. It's in squads, it's in solos as well. It's amazing, and I would love for them to bring back Volleyfall tournament, but I would prefer it to be in a 1v1 format rather than it being 4v4. I'd prefer the 1v1s because, you know, then I get to grind and beat people myself, not having to rely on teammates. I have a video on my channel where I didn't have to rely on teammates, and I almost won the other Volleyfall tournament, the one with teams of 4, which was hilarious. But yeah, Volleyfall, definite favorite round out of all of these recent rounds.